Okay, a little short video here. I am on a dirt road in California. It's dirt. It is for many miles. There's these type of trees there. That's the clue. I'll show you some shots of the creek. And pretty stoked. A little short video right now. I just found some more either jade or bowenite. Either way, pretty darn close and beautiful and valuable. And now that I'm getting an eye for what this stuff looks like, I realize I've been walking by it my whole life. Everybody has. And that's how jade and all of these little creatures in this family kind of hide. And now that I'm learning to spot their shape and their characteristic, it's like when you're an agate hunter. A lot of you hunt agates, and so you know the shape, you know the texture. I'm starting to be able to see that in mountains full of serpentines and green rocks and greenstone. And so with no further ado, let me show you this. So here is our creature. Here's what we're looking through, just to give you an example. There's all kinds of quartz and jasper and stuff, but there are 1,000 mixes of serpentine-like minerals, serpentinite creatures. Boulder after boulder after boulder after boulder, whole fields of them. And some of them, it's a pretty little creek, huh? Some of them are this stuff. Here's what the outside looks. Does not look that different from a lot of other things unless you start to be hyper vigilant of looking for it everywhere, even when it breaks. But you can start to see the clues. There's your clues. See that? Here's the piece that I broke off now. I had to go up to the truck and do this in the road because you don't want to break sparks around in California or anywhere in the hot season. We're in the hot and dry here. Anyhow, this is what looks like wet. Might be more of a clue that it was a greenstone, but there are, like I say, we're in a mountain range of green colored rocks. And then we lift it towards the light after we take a piece off. So this is from the leafy side of the family of serpentine, instead of the fibrous side of the family, but that's really the division into the two main branches. This is the way I think of it. You can research it for yourself. That is looking almost jade-like. This is definitely a high hardness up at the quartz level end of things. It's not scratchy or soft, you know, soapstony serpentine or anything. This is a crystallized, this is the stuff. Which means now I have 4 or 5 different spots where I know that, where we've prospected it, where this occurs. And just to let you know, as far as I'm seeing, wherever there is serpentine, you can start to hunt this out. But if you know serpentine, then you know that looks like a square of serpentine. So there it is. So exciting to see that little bit of glow, that green light come through the edge there. Each one is kind of a different color. This one's more of a blue-green beauty as opposed to a lime green or something. That's just going to be gorgeous, and the inclusions look like little teeny tiny dots. Of course, that's just the first flake, but the last boulder I found of this was hundreds of miles away from home and too big to carry, especially because we were down cliffs and stuff. That is a nice size, and that is going home. So I will probably finish this video by slicing some better pieces out of this that are flat and showing you what we just found. But that is awesome, and this is where I'm at. So check everywhere you are. It's probably right there. I found it on a 300-mile spread so far. from literally the base of Mount Shasta out to the coast of California, through those mountains by the Klamath, all the way south, and now in the Bay Area. Over the nearest boulder field to see if there's a massive plethora of the stuff or not. It's a highly metamorphosized area if you look really closely at any of these rocks. It's very nice. Oh look at the size of this jasper. Solid pure yellow. A little grainy chalk colored, I guess, in the yellow spectrum. No translucence to it, but still big boulder of jasper. That's not what we're doing. We're seeing if any of these are it. Start to really be able to tell what we're looking at, kinda. There's a lot of similar stuff here. Yep. All different shades and schists, but we are looking for the one. And we're lucky to find that, looks like. Again, I was actually strolling along looking for a little fishing hole, and the stream was too shallow for that. We were on our walk back, and I saw a rock, and I thought, you know, that just happened to you the other day. This looks like the same mix of rocks, but hundreds of miles away. Might as well pick up that one that looks like it and break it and see if it is. We know what's here. I want to know how much is here. Lots of close cousins, but we're looking for that blue-green boulder with the little spalding hints on it that are revealing its clarity. All we have to do is figure out which one it is. So as I'm coming up to stuff, I'm looking close, and in all the low fractures I don't see the little translucence. That's the giveaway. Also the shade, we're looking for something that's a black, green, blue. Like this one here has some really cool green color to it. Can't tell if it's chalky or translucent, but it looks translucent, and it's dug in here. Of course, I don't have a digging tool because this is spontaneous, but this is the most translucent looking so far. We might have a price spot. I'm gonna try and get a stick. Maybe we can pull it. Oh, we can. Let's rinse that off. Oh. version of itself. Same family. It's a leafy serpentine. But this piece, and you can even see the translucency in it. Yeah, no, it's softer. It just didn't get baked to that point where the crystalline got clear. Beautiful stone, don't get me wrong. It's like a soapstone, and it's so pure that you could carve that. Just wouldn't be translucent beyond what you see. It's gorgeous though. I'm actually gonna put it back in the hole where we found it because it was kind of holding the plants. And we'll know where it is. Okay, so for the second time this month, 300 miles apart from each other, we stumbled on one of my favorite stones. And I've actually gone back since off camera and looked and looked and looked and couldn't find another one. So it's not exactly loaded up, but you see the characteristics in here that were the first clue. Here's the big break. And this is a little bit darker than some of the stuff that we have found before, but way pure, and the black inclusions in it are far less. So I went ahead and put some on the saw. And we do not have a whole lot of light from the sky today, so I have a real strong flashlight. And we can drop these on there, and you can see the deep emerald green of that. Now if you watch the other videos of some of the same stone that we've been finding lately, you'll see that the inclusions in it are way larger. The little black pieces and specks that you're seeing. And this has just way less. It is just basically solid green. And I'd say almost, you know, a more yellowish apple green than the blue greens of the other large boulders. So really happy with that. I mean, it is also just a little bit noticeably harder to cut through on the saw. You see the edge of that, even in daylight, just held up to a flashlight. Autofocus is hating the bright light and the green of this, but it's also seemingly a little less translucent, but I think it's just because it's a darker green, and then the overall effect when light does pass through it is, just look at that, that is as sharp bright green as you can get. All the blue gone out of it and just forest. That is the thickness, so, you know, thicker than a nickel, about a nickel and a half. And then the thinner one, of course, it lights up a whole bunch. And I can see fibers in it, so we're gonna again have to cut it from different angles and see if there isn't one that see if it conducts light in one direction through the fibers better than the other, which could be expected. I think that's beautiful though. Pure. That's the thickness of that slab, and yeah, nice to find a chunk that we could bring home. And again, that's what it looks like in the raw, so it'll be laying there amongst all of the different volcanic rocks and serpentines and stuff. But if you think you got the right color and you get it wet, That still looks like the right color. Then you want to look for those tiny spaldings where it's the silicate of it has broken the little overlaps. There was one that would have been on the outside. You can see the translucence of it there. Or go ahead and whack it and see if you can get a little piece off. And then that's what the inside broken part of it looks like. And it becomes instantly more evident. And you should have a sharp little edge that you can hold up to the light. It's always good to bring a flashlight with you so you can test stuff. And look at that. Just green.